Alright guys, welcome to another episode of Mentor Asia Pacific. I am Alvin Sanga. We're here for our next guest. This is our dear friend, Natalia, and she's going to talk to you about her story today. And hopefully we'll get some insight of what she's doing and where she's going and moving forward. Thank you, Natalia, for being on the show, taking the time to come and see. Okay, so let's start with share one thing that most people might not know about you.
Okay. Currently, I am pursuing my doctorate degree in organizational leadership, and I'm in my first year.
Nice. Where are we pursuing it with? Who are we pursuing?
North Central University.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that going to be based on Guam, and then is it?
It's an online degree, just as much work, and yeah, it's my first year, like I said, but so far so good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your story? How did you get to where you are today?
Okay, good question. I'm a young professional by day, musician by night, depending on the type of day or day of the week. How did I get here? Who's helped me along the way? Well, I'm extremely grateful for individuals who have mentored me as I grew through my career. They've created that and cultivated that learning environment and gave me that opportunity just to go through it, and I've learned so much. Secondly, my friends and family that have shown tremendous encouragement and love and support for what I do and my goals. And most importantly, over the years I built up this deep faith, and it has brought me to where I sit today and has helped me accomplish all the things that I've and hopefully can still do in the future. We all know faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we cannot see as well. And I have utmost faith that I'm here for a greater purpose, and I'm looking forward to figuring that out as days and years progress.
Okay, so we touched up a little bit about where you're at today and what's taking you to get here. You want to talk about what might have been the most difficult thing that you've gone through or a struggling time that you've had in your life?
Okay. This might be, I try and break this down.
Okay.
On August 8th, 2010, I experienced a near drowning incident at Pocket Cove. If you're familiar with Pocket Cove, this is the place where people go and hike and they do cliff diving. Mm-hmm. That day I went, I jumped at the worst time ever, and waves were crashing in, and I found myself just kind of stuck and helpless. Friends say that I was probably treading the water for about an hour. It was both terrifying and cathartic. I fought with all my might, and still found myself stuck. Right. While treading that water, I experienced something that was so transformative and beyond me. And I say beyond me because I remember when I was struggling and fighting just to kind of keep my head above water, I ingested so much ocean water that I could feel my airways closing in, and I couldn't do anything about it. I was losing my ability to take in oxygen, and I didn't know how to. This was, like I said, it was beyond me. And so it was that very moment that I felt like I was literally holding on to a piece of thread for my life. And then I saw it. I saw the key to my existence, and it may sound so strange, but that was the very reason that I felt I built up this deep faith. It's common to see this in movies where people have their life flash before you. But it was through this experience that I felt that was probably one of the greatest gifts I could have. So I saw myself that day, open arms, and trying to keep my head above water. I later, after fighting, continued to fight to try to swim. I couldn't, the waves coming in. I could feel my breaths getting slower. Couldn't take a full breath. And I felt myself accepting where I was. And I was okay with it. And I chose to stop fighting. Now at this point, everything's silenced. I could see my friends up top. They were trying to do all they could to try to help me. But it was just me. It was just me in that water. And there was a few people that jumped in, but at that time it just, it just felt stuck. So after continuing to tread the water, I saw like a series of events flash before me, and it was events that I felt were important to me at the time. So it was like one by one, in a series of seconds. And the very last thing I saw, it was a Sunday, was myself walking into Santa Barbara Church, and I stood at the entrance, look ahead, I see my mother, father, and my brother sitting in the same pew. Walked over and sat behind them as if I was an observer. And at that very moment, I feel like this pool, someone had jumped in. And so I'm back at Pocket. I'm going in and out and trying to regain conscious, open my eyes just a bit, and I see a friend jump in to fight the waves, and he saved me. He pulled me out from the waters. It took some time, but it happened, and that is an event I will never forget. As traumatic as it was, that was the day that I discovered that deeper sense of purpose within myself and for my life. In retrospect, I realized that my friends were also impacted. I had a very profound impact on it. It impacted me profoundly in a way that it shifted my perspective on my life and my existence and why I'm placed here. I really felt it felt like it's as if he was putting in my palm, it's very clear what you need to do. And it's ironic that we talk about this because that day when I was sent down to rush to GMH, your wife, Leslie, was a nurse, and she took great care of me along with the other staff at GMH to get me x-rayed and all good.
Wow, I didn't know that Leslie was there.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that. That must have been tough to share with us. Thank you for putting that there. So you talk a lot about you were transformed and you found kind of your purpose. So what you want to share with us a little bit about that purpose that you found now, or what you're trying to do with it?
Yeah. Okay. So it was in the span of 6 months after that. It was very traumatic. I'd wake up and I'd just be sweating, drenched, and I'd have these nightmares, ocean, water, and it just kind of freaked me out. Anyways, I went to this one lookout here on Guam, Jonestown Lookout, and I was there by myself and just kind of was like looking at the ocean, and it was very clear to me that I needed to share my story and that I can possibly help people or help younger women or the youth, in sharing that and sharing my gifts. So helping others was what I took away from that experience, that it needed me. make more of an effort to kind of put myself out there because I believe my life was spared to do that.
Okay. So that's definitely what we're trying to do. We're trying to put mentors out there to help the youth. So, we aren't built to stand alone for the most part. We have people that show us the way. You talked about some of your mentors. You want to speak to one or two of them that really influence you the most, and how do they do that? How do they inspire you?
Okay. So these individuals I will name aren't physically here, but they've influenced me in many ways I can think of. Real quick, I'm gonna name three. Okay.
Yep.
Jay Shetty, he is a former monk. He's about 31, and he lives by the principle of your passion is for you, and your purpose is for others.
Okay.
So once he left, being a monk, he tried to adapt himself to the modern world, and he was trying to figure out how can I share my experience with people. So he believes in expanding his personal growth and the growth of others. Secondly, we all know this person, Oprah. Okay. For many reasons, but for me specifically, she's a firm believer in using life as a classroom.
Okay.
So I too believe in that. And thirdly, this individual named Robin Sharma. He's a very influential speaker and motivational guru. He's the author of Leader Without a Title.
Okay.
And he basically helps organizations develop their people, and helps cultivate an awareness that you have a leader in you already.
Right on. Okay, so great mentors. I know that last one for sure. Okay, so let's think now. We're gonna think 10 years back. We're gonna go to 2008. Picture yourself in 2008, and what pieces of advice, 1, 2, or 3, that you would give yourself in 2008?
In 2000.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, firstly, I would tell my younger self, take your time. Be in the experience, allow yourself to grow through those experiences. Number 2, it's very fortunate to travel at a younger age to Europe, all other parts of the world. I would tell my younger self to take a step back and really be fully present in those experiences, because there's so much things to take away that are very fulfilling. And thirdly, I would say to my younger self, you are enough. Continue to embrace the journey and your authenticity, and continue to share your gifts with the world, because we all have something unique to offer.
Okay, so last thing, we're gonna project a little. So as people that we're growing for the most part, and we always try to picture and see what our future selves might be. So we went 10 years back. We're gonna go 10 years forward. And what is Doctor doing now? What is Doctor doing now? 10 years, 2020.
2020.
Yeah.
Okay. Doctor would hopefully be educating in a classroom, educating others in a classroom. No, but it's been one of my goals to kind of establish a group that can, help leverage strengths, work on certain areas that are weaknesses, and help develop youth or people as leaders. So I'm looking to establish a group, hopefully within the next few years. That would be accomplished, and continue teaching and sharing my gifts with the world.
Okay, so for the youth, we're coming for you. We're looking to mentor most of you, so take a look. Stay tuned for the next few episodes, and we'll catch you the next time. Thank you for coming, Natalia. Yeah, we'll have a good one. Thank you very much. Thanks guys for tuning into Mentor Asia Pacific. Once again, I'm Alvin Sanga. Check out all our social media that's going to be linked down below. Stay tuned, more mentors are to come. We're going to be releasing a mentor every week. And please leave a comment down below for any mentors that you'd like to be featured on the channel, any business professional, entrepreneur, or anybody that you believe is inspiring and can provide to be a mentor for the youth as well. Until next time, thank you very much. Sanga out.